If I could like have the project a little bit more and like, cause like I had some trouble importing the actual pictures because like I told my friend, and so then like I had to export it from my actual to the phone from my to the iPad.
Right.
So then I just exported them from my iPad to my laptop.
Okay.
So
Your
and then I
Chromebook.
have to, yeah,
Okay.
um so like I have to kind of start editing, and I know I should have started last week when like you put it,
Wait,
but
no, I mean, I'm not gonna like. I was gonna use all this week to do the WeVideo, and like next week we're looking at doing probably some sound things, but I'm not gonna. Don't worry about getting an F. Don't worry about your grades. Don't worry about
mhm,
that. But what I was gonna do is show you specifically. Let me show you my screen. So like, let's work together here so you can see it. I'm gonna share my screen with you to kind of help you with the process. All right. So
and
you
then
see,
I wanted to see if like I was gonna add the own audio from the actual video, or if you're gonna add one to like.
okay. So here's what you can do. You can see my screen. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me move this up here. And I might do a training next week. So I might use this video for my training. So where are you at in the process? You got your media in there?
Yeah, I already exported the things that I need. I
So
already have like
you imported you
yeah,
imported your media.
yes.
Okay, you imported your media. So you did this number, went to imports, found it on like there's your imports. You found it on your Google Drive, whatever the case. So have you started your project yet?
No, I still cause had some things happening. So yeah,
No, that's
like
fine. All right. So and I understand it's just different times. So basically, when you start your project, you're going to you're going to go to dashboard and click on that,
mhm.
which you probably know. And then I go start editing. Now, before you begin, what I like to do is I go ahead and save as and change that to, like, we'll just call this practice. How about that? Okay. So that way you have your file name.
Okay.
Now, you remember you have your themes and things like that. Like if you wanted to
Right.
choose a theme, you could choose a theme. You don't have to. If you want to, you can see these themes. The themes actually have music built in. You can choose a theme. They're all pretty cool. You remember doing that when we were doing groups in class.
Right.
Remember talking about that. Okay. So here's the easiest way to do it. So you go to your media. Okay. And so like what the example that I was using was the horse footage from my daughter's where she keeps her thoroughbreds. So this is all the footage that I have. I've got my logo that we did. You got your brand in there. I got some music that I put in there, and then I got some footage, right? So like if
Mhm.
you use a theme, this is kind of what. Let me say. Let me go with a journey. Okay, I'm gonna use this theme. All right. Or if you wanted to start it, like I'm gonna do a new edit, save and exit, and I want to, let me go back to my dashboard, video, start editing, you know, go back to your themes, so basically you can do it from the beginning, but like, let's say if I'm choosing that theme, then everything that you put in will be based on that theme. Now, a lot of times when you choose a theme, it already puts things in your timeline, video 1 and video 2. For example, let me go back out.
Mhm.
Let me go back out. I'm going to show you I'm going to discard changes. I'm going to go back out and whoops. Let me go to from the beginning. Okay. Let's go to video. Let's go to start editing. And just to kind of review, replace the theme soundtrack, replace all transitions, replace caption formatting, and so for some reason it's not showing it down here in the timeline. It should show it in the timeline. If you choose a theme, typically it'll show it in the timeline, but you don't have to do that. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put in some of the footage. Like for example, I'll put in the horse footage right there. And then I'll put in a picture or a video or a picture of my son and my daughter, and then another picture right there. So if you look at it, you should be able to hear the audio. Can you hear the audio?
No.
Well, I have audio with this. So let's say I don't want the audio. You click on the clip, you click right there, and then you go and just mute the audio, right? So this audio for this footage is muted. Then you go to your audio that you want and drop it down to the audio file. And then the video that I made, let me turn this down. The video that I made, I showed how you can make the audio like lower. That way the viewer, let's say you're speaking over this, like, hey, this is my thoroughbred named Casper, and he's here at so-and-so horse farm. You know, because you don't want your audio to oversee your voiceover. All right. So that's that part. Now, when you do that, you click on the plus sign, and I want to click on audio too, because I need to do a voiceover. So if you want to do a voiceover, the cool thing about this is you can go to what's called narration. Okay. And so I've already got my footage starting off. I've got the audio there. It's just a stock audio from WeVideo. And then you click on narrate. And then I'm going to preview the video because you want to see the video while you're talking.
Right.
So I'm going to say, it'll give you a 3, 2, 1 and say, hey, this is Mr. McGuire and I'm doing a video on horses in the bluegrass. This is Casper, a thoroughbred that my daughter, Alyssa McGuire, has had for several years. Okay. And then you stop it, you know, and then I can hit play and hear it. If I hit the check mark, then it puts it in audio too. Okay. So, excuse me, it does, well, it does its own voiceover. I didn't realize that, but it does that automatically, but you can drop it into audio too. But like, so initially I don't have to have, I don't have to have that audio too. And so I guess I can drop that there. Okay. So what I have now is I have the audio here that I've changed the sound at 32%, and then I've got my narration. Say, hey, this is Mr. McGuire, and I'm doing it. And basically, you get in a quiet place, you speak clearly, your Chromebook will be fine. I'll be honest, a great place to do it, and this is going to be kind of funny since you're at home, a great place to do it would be in a bathroom. Close the door because there's probably pretty good acoustics in there. You know, like a smaller restroom that you have, or even your room with, you know, find a room in your house that doesn't have windows.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Close the door, kind of like the green room, right? Yeah. It doesn't have windows other than the door window. And that way it has it's got good acoustics, you know, versus recording something out in the media arts room, my classroom, well, it has a bunch of windows. If somebody drives by with a truck, you know, but you can figure that out. You know what I mean? So the other thing is with the video. So let's say I put this video in and I put this video, and here's a little trick. You hit Control A and you can move the whole thing around, because before you begin, you obviously want to start your video with some sort of text. And what's cool about this is you have all these stock texts. You got the motion text, you got your call out texts, you got your theme text, you got your static text. But what I use, like this is a cool one. You put it right there and then double click on it, and then you can just change like Jeremy McGuire, you know, whatever you want to call it, horses in the bluegrass. Save changes. Okay, so what that looks like is, there you go. It kind of gives it a little bit of a spark. So if you want to, like, say you're doing the Braves, you have Miss Damon's footage, correct? Already up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the first thing you did is upload the media. You did that, imported the media. Okay, now we're starting on the project. We've worked with our timeline. Okay, so I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move this over. You see how, you know, and then I'm going to move this over because you want a voiceover. You can actually have your face on it if you want to as well. Let's say you want to do a recording, you click on record, and then you can do like a webcam. So if I did a webcam and click next, then it'll record my face. See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm going to say, I can do the exact same thing. Hey guys, this is Mr. McGuire, and here I'm talking to Maria Salgado from class in 6th grade at Crawford Middle, and we are talking about recording using the webcam. So I save that, and there, you know, and that's another one. See what I'm saying? So you can use the music right there. So obviously you would want your webcast and your voiceover. So you decide which one you want.
Mm-hmm.
If you do a voiceover, it's because you don't want to see your face,
Right.
but you might want to see your face. See what I'm saying? So in this case, I'm going to just delete that, you know, and I'm going to keep that right there. And then another cool thing too is if you want to mess with your audio, you can like click on the blue bar. Like for example, let's say you want the music to come in. You want the music to come in like fade in. You can fade it in right there. Let's say you want the music to fade out. You can fade it out right there. Does that make sense? Kind of like a song you would listen to, like any project that you're working on. Let me move up here real quick because I think my wife is working on something. So let me go to my Zoom. I'm gonna call this my Zoom room. This is my Zoom room.
I just sit in my living room because I have enough light and my mom doesn't really make any sound.
There you go. Well, and that's key. That's the key too when you have enough lighting. So now I've got what I need. Okay. In between, and here's another little cool thing you can do. So you choose the clip. I'm going to split the clip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take this clip and you can change the size. You can change how you see it.
Okay.
Okay. Like the start of the clip and the end of the clip. And you can put a caption there, you know, if you want. And that's a caption. One thing I really like is the speed of the clip. So like if I want to make it slow-mo, then see, and that creates that emotion that we were talking about in class. Like, so slow motion gives you the ability to attract the viewer because you're changing the way the view. It's not just the same clip, you know, and it just kind of like our photography class, you want to change, like we took pictures of normal things in different settings to kind of give it some creativity. So after you do that, you always want to make sure you do a transition between one clip and the other. See, or if I wanted to make a transition between a picture and a video, okay, you see how this is going to look, where it transitions from the picture to the video to a still image, or from the video to the still image. So you can use and the cool thing about these transitions, there's all kinds of cool transitions in here. I mean, you can use this transition, which is, if you want it to be colorful, there you go. I just like cross dissolve because for me, that's very, very professional. But you can use any of them. If you're working with like reading, you know, this would be a good one to do because it would fit, you know, with what you're doing, you know, or, you know, if there's all kinds of transitions, there's a million of them. There's additional transitions that you can use right there. You know, so it's just what you're trying to do is what will not detract the viewer, you know, from the video itself. Okay, so now you have your text at the beginning. Okay, You've changed the name of the project. You've got the music. You have the voiceover. Okay. You've added some footage.
So what is video one for? Like, why is there two?
Okay, so like say if you want, all right, so that's a good question. All right, so let's look at I don't have any footage to say on a green screen. Let me see if I can use this. I'm going to use this what I just made today. Hey guys, this is Mr. McGuire, and here I'm talking to Marie. All right, so I'm going to use that footage. Okay, so I'm going to go into that. I want to show you real quick again. You go into the editing tool. You know, this will open up the opacity. This changes the audio. You can create effects, you know, so on and so forth, you know, and or you can delete. But what video, the different video track is you can go in here. Let me see here. Where am I at here? Sorry. There we go. So let's say I say there's a green screen behind me, right? And I click on that. It can change the screen behind me. And what I can do is I can put backgrounds, kind of like what I did. But what I need, let me flip flop.
Okay.
Hey guys, this is Mr. McGuire. Now, here I'm talking to here's the problem. Your background needs to be on video 1. Your video itself needs to be on video 2. And the reason you can just barely see me is because typically if you're going to use that, it's like the green screen color keyer. Right. Okay. So if you have have footage, let me see if I can find any footage that has green screen on it. Let's see, 6th grade raw footage. Here's raw footage from 6th grade. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we got some pictures. I have some pictures in there, 6th grade pictures. You had a couple pictures of you that you could use as well. See, so I don't have any green screen pictures there, but I've got some. I know I do. Let me see. Let me try to type that in and see. Green optical illusion. You see that one right there? That was kind of like how we used that to knock it out of the park. This was a couple years ago. But let's see. Let's see if I can find some trailers. See if we got any raw footage there. This might work. So when they're doing the footage, all right, so I'm going to put that footage right there. Okay. Then I'm going to go to backgrounds, and let's say I'm going to choose this background. All right. Because I want to do, so I've got a background. I've got footage with a green screen behind it, which it'll work better than my footage. Okay. Then you click on that, click on the color keyer, and you see that background.
Okay.
How that works, and then click Save Changes. And so, see, so they're doing the news, you know, Jacob and Hayden. And so what we've done is just because it doesn't have to be green, it just has to be a different color. Like behind me, you see like the Batman and some of the, if you have like just a regular wall that you were recording, like you wouldn't want to record with your background that you're using right now because of that picture on the wall. You want to record something with just a basic wall, and when you do that, you put the video on the top and any background on the bottom. So if you have a picture that you've done, or you can even put a picture of the Braves behind it, whatever the case may be. You know, like for example, there's the green screen, That's the background I'm going to choose. But let me see if I can find a picture that I can put of, let's say I'm going to find a 6th grade picture that I have. Let's see if there's a picture. Yeah, I think that's a picture. Yes. So let's say I want to put this picture on the green screen. Okay. So go there, yeah, there it is. You see it?
Yeah.
It doesn't really look great because that's there. So if
Right.
that, WCMS wasn't there, then it would look really good. Then you could like actually see like a Braves classroom. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, and here's another cool one. I think I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to import. I'm going to go to my drive and I'm going to go to what Ms. Damon put in there. Shared video photos for news.
I
Staff.
think I still have to import that to mine.
Yeah,
I
so
might
what I
have
would do
done
is
it.
because I shared it with you. So what I'm going to do
Right.
is I'm just going to import them all for now. You just hit them all. And then once you import them, there they are, and it'll take a minute to do so. That's probably the easiest process to import. So there's Miss Damon doing her thing.
So how did you select them all?
So what I did, I just hit import. I went to the drive. I found the videos or the pictures that I wanted, any media that you want. Let me go back to her again. And I went to, I clicked the first one, then I hit shift and just arrow up.
Okay.
Okay. And what I'll do is I'm recording this Zoom video.
Okay.
So I'll share this on the classroom as well. Cause I think that helps students. So anyway, like for example, this wouldn't be a good picture to use because it's got a bunch of different backgrounds. This wouldn't be bad. So let's say we're going to use this picture of Miss Damon, and I want to focus on her saying, I stay home for my students and my family. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So then you can take a background. Let's just grab any background that we think. Let's go try a green one. We're going to put it right there. Okay. Remember, the footage you want in the foreground is going to be right here. The footage you want in the background is going to be right there. You choose the footage you want in the foreground, like, not the green screen, but the actual footage. You go to the color dropper. Okay. And save changes. Now, here's the problem with that. It's not wanting to, let me go to the color drop here. Like, because her background is a little bit different, that's what you're going to get. See what I'm saying? And the reason is because she doesn't just have, she has several things in the background. So it's really good and very important that you have you and then something plain in the background, whether it be a white sheet, a wall, doesn't matter. Okay. And there's some other videos that I've posted on there that will help. Let me show you one thing real quick. If I were to flip this is just so you can see it. If I were to flip that, okay. I just wanted you to see what it looks like. By flipping it, what's on the top should be in the foreground. See how that works? So you can't even see Miss Damon. Now you can play with some things, but that really doesn't help you either. You're just seeing that background over top of her. You don't want that. You want the background behind her. That's why it needs to be below her. Okay. So the main one, it's weird. You would think it would be video 1, right? But it's really more like you can go back and change what these are called. You could call this main video. You could call this green screen background. Right. And that might help you. That way, whatever's on top. Yeah. Because it just, and this could be music, and this is just for when you're doing a really long one, right? So now you've got the start of your footage. You're going to play it. You got your title. You got your music. You're working on your audio. You got your transitions. You know, hey, this is Mr. McGuire, you got your voiceover. Going in, and again, I did all this with my cell phone. Okay, I did all this on a cell phone. So the footage that you use doesn't necessarily have to just be the Braves footage. You know, because all the footage that I have. Let me go back to my drive to show you what I have. You know, and again, for any other students that are watching this in the future, I have a lot of footage that I can share with you. But this is what I have so far. From Stat Videos, but this is the Braves stuff. This is all the Braves footage. Okay. And just for other students, this is some Giants footage that I can share. I think the Reds have not put anything in there. I'm not sure. I know the Royals have put a few things in there. Miss Simpson has. So, you know, I can share footage from the other things that we've done. Like here's 6th grade footage that I probably have shared with you already. Let's see if I've shared it with you. I've shared it with that group, like the 6th grade group. So I will go ahead and make sure that I'm going to go back and make sure you have access to that. I think you do, but I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. There we go. So you have access to that 6th grade footage if you want to use it. Exported video. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff in there. So let's go back to WeVideo. Any other questions you have? Kind of? There's no questions, a bad question. I know I kind of went through it kind of quick, but.
No, kind of. You kind of explained like how to do stuff and like what I could do.
Does it make sense, like the process? Yeah. I mean, like, and what you can do, one thing I would suggest, this is what I would suggest. This is a little trick that we talked about a while back. Okay, let's say you want to watch the video while you're doing your WeVideo. Make your screen, let's say your WeVideo project's half the screen, and then say that's this video. Drop it over here. So while you're watching the video, the how-to, if you will, say for example, I'm going to go to my how-tos here. I'll just pull up camera 1 how-to. So this is how we do it. All right. So we're talking, you know, say you're, you know, so you're watching how I do it, and then over here you're doing as I do it. So you can go here and pause it, and then, you know, you can go over here and do it. You know, that way you're not going back and forth. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, oh, how did he do that? And then you got to go to another screen or all that stuff. So that's just a really good split screen way to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do I have, how many transitions do I need to have? Like how many seconds away, or can I do it like however I want?
Well, you know, it's up to you. You can. What I like to do transitions in between every clip that's different. So for example, if I want to go here, you see how there's a clip there and then me. So I will drop that in between. And then
you're still sharing the screen. I can't see your screen anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Ooh. See it now? Okay. So this is like, you see how these boxes are in between?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a clip, and that's the slow-mo clip, and that's the same. That's another clip. In between every clip, like there's me and then Ms. Damon, you drop it in there. Okay. And so in between every different clip, I would suggest to you, and I would use the same transition, or you can change it up. You can use, there's some cartoon type transitions you can use. It doesn't matter. It's cool either way, you know. And all this does is just shows you like this is what like clip A is going to look like, and then clip B, you know. So that's the way to do that. One thing that you might need to know is that right here, let's say you want to do something inside of this horse video, or there's a clip that you want to see, but you're having a hard time accessing it. This right here will expand your footage to where you can get in closer detail. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And by doing that, it like, you see the seconds, it goes like that. That's 5 seconds at a time, to where when I do this is the whole thing. This is like, almost a 2 minute and 30 seconds. It's a 2 minute, 30-second project, with the ending of the music. Exactly. Okay. But sometimes you might need to get into a tighter shot. So you have to expand your timeline. Like you can expand it all the way almost to the second. So, then you can just use your arrow to like, all right, I'm going to cut it right there. And then I want to cut it right here. And notice it's 4620 to, let's go right there. And then I might want to do some crazy stuff with that clip itself, but by making it smaller, it's harder to access. Okay. So I might want to go even more slow-mo. I might want to start that clip like this and see, like you want to focus on the horse's eye right there. Say I want to focus on the horse's eye, like really close. This is the start of the clip. And this could be the end of the clip. So I'm going to get back to the eye, and I'm going to just drop it back just a little bit, just to show a little bit of motion. Okay. And that, and the reason this has this is because I added that theme. So let's say, since I changed the clip, I'm going to add a transition in between. Let me make it smaller here. Sometimes transitions are easier to add when the clips are smaller. That way you can see it. So I'm going to add a clip right there. Whoops. It should. But anyway, you can do a transition in between there. You see how I did that right there. And that's like a really short. See how quick that was? That was like only a few seconds, maybe 1 second. So there's all kinds of different things you can do by expanding your timeline. So when you're done, you click on finish. And in this case, if you haven't named it, name it. Okay. Go high definition. Choose WeVideo. Give you a thumbnail. Also choose your drive. And if you want to upload it to your school YouTube, you can, but I would just choose these two first. And then when you do that, this is what it'll look like once you export it. You start exporting it, and then there it is, and you see, you can type a caption in there from your themes. It takes a little while. It's a 2.5 minute video, so it won't take very long. And when it's done, you'll receive an email saying your WeVideo has been exported. See how that works? And then when you're done, you can also go to your exports, and there's all your exports. See, it says ready in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And this is the example. I did one for Ms. Jones, and I did one for Ms. Massey, the 8th grade counselor. Here's my wife doing some art. There's a reward. So there's a lot of ways you can access these things. So you good with it?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Like, just got to make sure I do it right. But
well, just go back and split screen it. Is there any other questions you got?
No, I think I got it all. Yeah. Thank you, though.
No problem. Well, holler at me if you need any more help, okay?
All right. Thank you.
See you, Maria. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I want to find it,